What is your business registered as? So how much money are you making with your business now? What are your favorite tax write-offs? Do you think the rich should pay more in taxes? How much did it cost to start your business? Like what type of equipment did you need? Do you feel like your degree helped you become successful in business? Can you share any of the numbers, cash flow, growth percentages, and how much are you making now?
I'll just say this. I just deposited a check that was $17,733.
What's going on, guys? Sean here. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia at a networking event, and today I'm going to be asking some business owners what they do, how much money they make, their favorite tax strategies, and more. Let's get into it. What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Cristian Limon Nunez, and I'm an artist.
I love the accent, man. Where are you from?
I was born in California. My parents are from Mexico, and I was raised in Georgia. I was raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
What type of art do you create?
I do murals. I love sculpture, but right now I'm doing a lot of murals. I tapped into tattooing a while back to kind of challenge myself about a year and a half ago. So I've had a lot of success in that.
Did you have to get any funding in order to start your business or anything like that?
I did. To start my own business, I worked straight for a year at a job that I really didn't like. It was at a law firm that I hated. And I just stacked paper. So I decided to invest that money into my business in 2019. And it's been successful, and there's been ups and downs.
How much money are you making as an artist?
I've been blessed, man. I've been blessed to never go hungry, you know?
What is your business registered as?
It's an LLC.
What made you decide to become an LLC?
I'm in the camp that was convinced that you need to start off as an LLC as soon as possible. Protect your personal assets. It's not going to protect everything, but at least you can get yourself started on that route.
What is your biggest expense right now as an artist?
Man, the rent is always the biggest expense because I believe in having a brick and mortar. As an artist, I have a dedicated studio and gallery space, and I think that's just important for my vision. So it's not for everybody, but the biggest expense has always been the rent because I believe it's going to have the biggest return on investment than other investments that people kind of tend to look at.
Do you have any favorite tax strategies or ones that you find to be the most useful in your business, like certain tax write-offs that you enjoy?
Well, your vehicle. If your vehicle's over a certain weight limit, or if maybe you use it specifically 100% for your business, there's going to be ways to do that. That's a good one. And if you're really taking losses in your first year and you're documenting everything, you want to keep good bookkeeping and make sure you're not just writing off losses year to year, but take the losses that you need and make them work for you.
What's your name and what do you do?
My name is Jeffrey Holmes. I am a creative producer in location-based entertainment, which translates to I design and execute the temporary attractions that go into theme parks, gardens, zoos, things like that.
Did you have to get any funding in order to start your business?
So by the time I started my own business, we made it a service company, and so it was really more about the hearts and minds and the creativity of myself and my colleagues. So thankfully, we didn't have a lot of overhead because we didn't have a product to sell. We had our time. So no, I didn't need a lot of capital. What I needed was the ability to survive while gaining those first couple of years of business.
So how much money are you making with your business now?
Right now, I want to say we probably gross like around $2 million as a company.
That's really incredible. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Oh, yeah.
How long did it take you to become profitable?
1 year, I guess. I mean, we've always been profitable, right? Because it's time, right? Like essentially, it's a service-based time industry. So for the most part, it's all right. Here's how much time I'm giving you, and here's how much that's going to cost, and we just have to make sure that the things we have to account for, like insurance, are covered in those costs.
So what is your business registered as?
We are an LLC that files as an S Corp.
What made you convert into an S corporation?
There is a reason. There's something about filing as an S Corp that just protects. Yeah, I don't know.
So with an S corporation, you're able to avoid the self-employment tax. So once you put yourself on a reasonable salary, you save like 15.3% in taxes up to a certain limit of income. So
I'll say we just hired a new accountant, which is a shame we didn't meet last week.
Do you have a favorite tax write-off or most useful tax write-off?
So for me, because we work in themed entertainment, like technically speaking, any show I go to, any theme park I go to, any experience that I get to do, whether it's a garden, a zoo, aquarium, whatever, that's technically all research, and I love that. It's awesome, right? But to be honest, like I like the trade shows. They're technically write-offs, but they're fun. They're just so much energy. But yeah, I think you have to think outside of the box.
Hey, me and you right now, we're writing this event off. We're marketing, we're networking. It's awesome. What's going on, guys? Before we move on to the next interview, I gotta tell you, if you need help with tax planning or tax preparation, please do me a favor and click the first link down in the description below to book a call with our team, and we'll see if we can help you out. For now, let's go ahead and head back into the next interview. All right, so what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Brandon DeSenza, and I am a realtor and real estate coach.
What made you become a realtor?
I used to be an accountant. I was at a CPA working in New York. Money was good, but money wasn't making me happy. So I realized that I needed to make a lifestyle change and do something that I enjoyed that could also make money, because, you gotta live.
How long did it take you to get your first client and maybe close your first deal?
Okay, so my first client I got started in January full-time. First client I got in March, and they closed in May.
What's the most transactions you've done in 1 year?
28.
So how much money do you make as a realtor?
As a realtor? Well, the exciting part about it is there's no cap on the amount of money you can make. We have many agents in our office that can make, in commissions in a year, $1 million.
What is your biggest expense as a realtor?
Gas, because I'm driving all over. And then I would say a lot of people's is their assistant. And also, a lot of what we do is about staying top of mind with our clients, right? And with people in our sphere of influence. So marketing, like whether that's gifts to past clients, mailers, internet campaigns, things like that.
As a business owner and a former CPA, what are your favorite tax write-offs or most useful tax write-offs?
Anything that involves business, a conversation about business, can be pretty much a tax write-off. You want to be aligned with a really good tax accountant that fully understands a realtor's business, because there's certain things that are going to be different for a real estate agent versus someone that owns a restaurant. So that's part of the aspect. And then looking at what are your actual expenses that you're spending on your business, because there's a lot of things that you might not think of right away. Your cell phone is a deduction because that's a business expense, part of that. Additionally, you're going to look at the mileage that you put on your car and all the expenses associated with that.
Do you think every real estate agent should be using the vehicle tax deduction and writing off their car?
That's hard to say, because if you were to lease a car, then you get to write off the full lease payment, right? Versus writing off mileage. So it's going to depend on the agent and the cost of that car. Plus, you've got to look at the depreciation aspect. So why are so many people buying G-Wagons? Due to the weight of it and being able to write off that depreciation fully.
Do you know anything about depreciation?
From a tax perspective, yes. I think the interesting part, and what a lot of self-employed people need to understand, and this comes up in real estate a lot, is we have a lot of people who they take tons of deductions for tax purposes, right? So then it looks like they don't make any money. Then they go and try to buy a house, and then they can't, because that lender sees, they look at 2 years of tax returns and they're looking at consistent income. So you've got to be able to balance that if you want to be a homeowner and you're self-employed.
So what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Reese, and I do administrative claims. I focus on corporate compliance when it comes to things like corporate compliance in government, especially. I used to work for the Internal Revenue Service, so I focus on regulatory compliance, statutory compliance, and things of that nature.
Are you a business owner or are you an employee?
Yes, I'm a business owner, so the name of my company is Serve Inc. And what we do is kind of like public advocacy, where we kind of research and audit corporations that are either government controlled or just major corporations that really have a large impact on consumers.
You are dangerous.
Very much so, yes. They don't like me at all.
Did you have a government contract or get any grants or funding to start your business?
No, actually, the only thing that's keeping me supported right now is the fact that I have an inheritance. My mom, when she passed away, she left me a decent enough amount of money for me to be able to invest in my business. And so I typically just use my own money to fund what I do. And it's actually very satisfying because I don't have to answer to anybody.
How did you handle your inheritance? Did you pay any taxes or anything like that?
No, I'm not paying taxes to nobody for no reason.
Have you heard the news about the IRS hiring 87,000 new agents? And if so, do you think that's going to lead to more audits in the United States?
I believe yes. I know for a fact the United States is going to always do everything they can to pull people into a tax-paying status.
Do you think the rich should pay more in taxes?
I don't know if anyone should necessarily pay taxes in a system like ours because our economic system is based on an infinite banking system of credits and debits. Okay, infinite banking means whenever I have a debit, I have a credit that immediately balances. You know how it looks on a T table, on a ledger. So on a ledger, anytime you enter a debt, you enter a credit to extinguish it. So if I say that we're going to evenly exchange something, I give you $10 and you give me something worth $10, do we ever have any debt? It's always a zero balance, right? So why would I pay taxes on that if we're doing even exchanges?
All right, so what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Terry Love. I am a filmmaker. I work in the film industry, but I'm starting to slightly go away from the film industry to do my own productions.
And are you a business owner?
We'll see. Once the Secretary of State of Georgia approves my name for my LLC, I applied for it last Wednesday. So we'll see hopefully shortly.
How was the process of registering a LLC?
It's very easy, actually. I took a class the night before about how they're doing it. So just go to the website. It was a $100 fee, the initial fee to get it done. Have all your paperwork, information, address, and stuff. So it was a very simple process to do.
Do you think people need to hire an accountant or attorney to set one up?
No, I don't think they need to. I think to be reassured for safety reasons, it is always best to go with the professionals who specialize in that because you have a lot of specialized art forms and niches and such. So it'd be great to have people, but you don't have to.
How much did it cost to start your business? Like what type of equipment did you need and stuff like that?
Bought a lot of props from Amazon. Amazon was very clutch in my my startup costs. So a lot of costumes and props like that. I bought a green screen from them. I have an iPhone 13, so that's gonna be my camera for now, until I try to upgrade later on. But yeah, so I'm learning to keep my receipts to write off as business calls for the LLC. So it's gonna be good coming tax season.
What has been your favorite tax write-off or tax strategy so far?
Business trips, to other places, like for me to find talent to do shooting other locations should be a tax write-off, and that'd be very helpful.
Absolutely. Sweet. How much money do you think you'll make in your first year as a filmmaker?
That's a good question. Honestly, I really don't feel like I will make anything the first year. From what I've been taught by people who have started their own businesses, it's like the first year is going to be building your network, connections, your growing pains, and then from that point on, you can get better strategies for the following year to become more profitable.
All right, so what's your name and what do you do?
My name's Liz Bachman and I do social media management consulting.
How long have you been doing that?
About 5 years, but my business is about a year old.
What made you get into social media management?
I have a bachelor's degree in strategic communications and social media management is profitable.
Do you feel like your degree helped you become successful in business or start your business?
I think my degree gave me the skills that I need to execute my product properly. It did not teach me anything about actually running a business. That's been a little bit fly by the seat of your pants and ask for a lot of advice.
What made you register as an LLC?
I wanted to make sure that my assets were legally protected and separated from myself.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense. How important is it to have an ad budget for social media, and what is a healthy ad budget to spend every month if you want to run advertising campaigns online?
So I actually do no advertising. So I do organic social media. I don't focus on advertising. Based on your business goals and the timeline of which you're wanting to do your business, and if your business is geographically restricted, advertising can sometimes make sense. But I actually see a lot of business owners use advertising as a way to patch a problem, which is that their content's not reaching a lot of people because it's not resonating with anyone, so it's not creating that engagement necessary to push it to the next person. And all that you're going to do there is create an ineffective ad.
What are some of your favorite tax write-offs or some of the tax write-offs you find to be most useful in your business?
The only thing that I would say about that is, yes, you need to spend some of the money that you make in order to get those deductions on taxes, but you're not actually getting the full write-off. You don't get 100% of that money back. Like buying a meal on a business meeting is not a free meal, and a lot of business owners don't understand that. Taking a client out to a show is not a free show. That's actually not even a tax write-off, but people think that it is.
All right, so what's your name and what do you do?
My name's Josh Thompson, and I'm an investor coach.
Do you have a favorite tax write-off or a tax write-off you find to be most useful for you in your business?
In the business, I have real estate, so it's depreciation is probably my number one go-to for her trying to reduce my taxable income, and I don't know, just anything I can defer, is my go-to moves.
So you're in real estate. How many properties do you own, and what do you do with your real estate portfolio?
So I own one commercial property and 2 rental properties, and then my home.
Can you share any other numbers, cash flow, growth percentages, anything like that on your properties?
So I have a property in Texas. It's a single-family home. As far as cash flow, I bought it about 3 years ago, so the market was not necessarily at its peak. It's 1,800 square foot home. I bought it for $185,000, I believe. I'm currently renting it out for $1,650 a month. So my mortgage payment's $1,350. So I've got a $300 cash flow on that property. My commercial property, it's actually where my office is, so I rent the office from myself. Nice. So my business is paying me, so that's a cash flow. And then upstairs is residential on the commercial property. So I rent that out. That was $500,000. It's about $450,000 property. 4% interest on that I got a couple years ago. And so a unique, really cool spot, fully furnished. I ended up renting that out for $2,800 a month, and my mortgage payment on that's only $2,000. So definitely a cash flow just from the renter upstairs, and then my business with all of the deferments, and so that's set up well.
What advice would you give for anyone who wants to build their own rental portfolio?
For a rental portfolio, I mean, it's going to start with learning, understanding. First thing is, how do you get something to cash flow, right? Because, if you're not cash flowing, it's just rough. So learning what is going to be the numbers. How much do you have to put down? How much is the property going to be worth, what you can rent it for? So this is just product research, right? And so once you establish the numbers, now you're looking at, neighborhoods, you're looking at, what kind of clients you're getting also.
So what's your name and what do you do?
My name is Bray Sims, and I am a licensed realtor here in Georgia and Florida. And I also own a small logistics company.
What made you get started in real estate and logistics?
Well, real estate is family business. My mom's been a realtor for over 20 years. I was her assistant. Started to see those checks roll in. And then plus I have a knack for architecture and anything home. So it was just kind of a natural segue for me to do that.
What type of real estate do you do? Is it development, construction, flipping, rentals? What is it?
So it's a hodgepodge of those things. So I am, like I said, a licensed realtor. So I can do what I call retail real estate, which is, hey, you and your wife need to buy a home. But I have a niche with working with investors who like to acquire tax liens. So I do tax lien acquisitions, whether that be commercial or residential.
Can you explain to everybody what a tax lien is and how that works?
Tax liens, you did not pay your taxes. So you have an encumbrance on the property. we as investors can go and buy that tax lien, and actually there's a system in a way to own that property outright, whether it had a mortgage on it or not, just by paying the tax lien and doing a couple other legal things. And that way you actually benefit as the end buyer of the property. But yeah, you essentially, someone or the property owner did not pay their taxes, they became delinquent, and then people like myself go in, we research those properties, we find out if they're viable for our investor clients, and then we actually acquire the property for them.
Can you walk us through maybe one of your favorite real estate investments, the number, the acquisition price, maybe cash flow, appreciation, and stuff like that?
There was a property, and it's on my Instagram. I was at the DeKalb County tax lien sale. I was representing my client. He actually purchased a commercial property. It was a gas station. And with that single location, just giving kind of mulling over the numbers, it's about $100,000. But what he was able to do with that, and who he was able to sell it to, I think we netted $450,000 off that deal. So you're looking at $500,000, and he only spent $100,000, and that was a turnaround of no more than 6 months.
And that was because he got the gas station. The previous owner didn't pay the taxes on the gas station.
Correct.
So it went to court or something like that, and he was able to buy it directly.
Actually, it was a small mom and pop location, so it wasn't like a QT or say a BP. It was family owned, and the owner had passed, so it went into probate. And after probate, I guess with the estate, and I don't get into that part, I just look at it once it becomes a tax thing. They were not paid. The county never got its remedy, its payment from the estate for the taxes owed on that. So it went to what I call the chopping block, which is the courthouse steps, literally. And yeah, we bid on it and we won the bid.
What is your business registered as?
So I am an LLC, but as far as strategy goes, I am taxed as an S corporation.
What made you decide to become an S corporation?
The tax benefits, and then because I'm providing a professional service. So I think those people who are in my field, in my lane, and you're providing a professional service, not necessarily goods, you may want to investigate being an LLC but being taxed as an S corporation.
What are some of your favorite tax write-offs or ones that you find to be the most useful in your businesses?
Well, I just found out one today, or it was confirmed to me. My sister told me a while ago, hey, you're looking for another business vehicle, you need to get a Tahoe. And I'm like, I don't want a big car, especially with the real estate. And then we didn't really talk about the logistics company, but for that it would work because we do some private carrier stuff. So when I found out that because of the weight, I could get a huge tax incentive or tax credit just because of the weight of the vehicle. So that's something interesting.
Tell us a little bit more about the logistics company and what made you get started with it.
So again, family. My grandfather was an owner-operator. He actually played financier for some of his family and friends in Stowersville, Mississippi. Very small, not even on the map place where he's from. It's actually named after the family.
Did you need any money or funding in order to start the business?
I did. I took private capital to really start up and really go good. If I took the whole year, probably about $50,000.
And how much are you making now?
I'll just say this. I just deposited a check from last week's totals that was $17,733.
In 1 week. That's amazing, man. Hey, man, I really appreciate you doing this. I thought your favorite tax strategy was going to be depreciation as a real estate investor. That was interesting.
It can be, but again, you're the tax guy, and that's your wheelhouse, so I don't know it.
All right, there you have it, guys. We met some amazing business owners. We learned a lot together. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you tell me down in the comment section below. Coming up next, I have 2 more videos you may enjoy as well, so check those out over here if you haven't already, and I'll see you there.